here on the other side of the screen. But that's part of the fun. It's part of the fun. I've been watching Star Trek New Generation. Not so new. The first season was in '88. I graduated high school in '88. Show you how my age. Don't say anything. I told you I'm a dealer on the strip, a casino dealer. I check IDs now. People born in 1997. Now, if that doesn't make you feel old, I don't know what does. Anyways, I was thinking about Star Trek Generations and Next Generation, and it has its. Here's a cool thing, Today we have Netflix, we got Hulu, we got Amazon Prime. Now we can watch these shows as they're meant to be watched, which is one episode after another, commercial free, bing, 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 bing. Awesome, right? In some ways, technology is so amazing. On the other hand, it's frightening as hell. But we'll get into that another time. But, back in '88, it was 7 seasons, I believe, '88 to '94, Star Trek Next Generations. 7 seasons. And I only watched a few of them, I think, back in the day. I wasn't a big Star Trek guy. I watched more of the original Star Trek in the '60s than I did the Next Generation, but I find that I'm enjoying it. Anyways, my point is, they got all this amazing technology, right? They got a teleport system where they could teleport themselves to planets and things like that, and I mean that's just pretty cool, right? They can't teleport you there is a certain distance. At least Star Trek Next Generation put that limitation that you could teleport somebody, but you can teleport, right? It has warp drive, goes speeds we can't even think of, but in the ship, to travel from deck to deck, they have to use an elevator. And you see Captain Jean-Luc Picard in the elevator going doo-doo-doo-doo-doo while the elevator's going up and down. I'm like, what's wrong with this picture, man? They got all this technology, but they gotta go up and down a freaking old ass elevator. The things that Superdan thinks of. Anyways, we're gonna keep smoking this a little bit, and we'll be right back to talk about some more stuff about the cigar and things in general. Hey, I'm back. Did you miss me? For those of you just tuned in, we're smoking the Isla del Sol Robusto from Drew Estates. Of course, that's kind of a joke because, of course, you're with me. You're still watching, right? I would want to say that the binder is a Connecticut binder, but I'm saying that tongue-in-cheek because it doesn't taste like a typical Connecticut binder. You don't get the hay taste of a Connecticut binder. You don't get the sawdust at all. But, I mean, it's not a dark-colored wrapper, obviously. I'd love to try this like in a Maduro. I wonder if they would ever think about making an Isla del Sol in a Maduro wrapper. That would be interesting. Boy, would that be a sweet smoke, huh? I think they didn't do it in a Maduro just to keep the sweetness down somewhat, because it's already like an 11 out of a 10. I'm being facetious, not that high. But as we keep smoking this and going down the pole, I'm tasting less and less of the sweetness on the tip. As a matter of fact, now I can barely taste it at all. This is also a great cigar as gifts to give to friends and stuff. I give a lot of these cigars away at my work to people. Georges are people that take care of you, that tip you well, good people, and I give them as gifts once in a while because a lot of beginner smokers need something delicious, sweet, and mild. That's very important. Do not give a beginner smoker a full-bodied cigar. I mean, why would you want to make them sick and never want to smoke a cigar again? It's just not right. Be smart about it. Give them your mildest stuff to start with. And then they could build from there, right? That's how I did it. That's how I built. I started with the acids. I started with the lighter cigars, the Macanudos and so forth, and built my way up. And I'd still say that I'm not really a full-bodied smoker. There's some cigars that still make me spin, you know, I'll be honest. There's a learning process to smoking cigars, that is for sure. And Superdan had to learn some things the hard way. Sometimes, and I love this quote, sometimes you got to go through the dungeon to get to the palace. Think about it. Be right back. So Superdan has been thinking for a little bit now about my cigar rating system, how I'm going to do it. And I think in the beginning, for right now, we're just going to keep it as simple as possible, right? The KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Right? Method. 1 to 5 stars. Each cigar will say what the price is for a single. And I'll just look that up and research it and give a price for a single. And then maybe a brief descriptor of the cigar, and that's about it. I think as we get down the road, maybe I'll put a little bit more detail and complexity into the rating of the cigars, where we'll also look at the construction, the taste, and any other ancillary data that we'll have with these cigars. You like that? Ancillary data. You feel free to use it. Ancillary data. Okay? Ancillary data. I'm watching too much Star Trek. Anyways, and I think that's what we'll start with. All right, we'll keep it simple, and we'll have like a cigar of the year too. Why not? Everybody else is doing it. If everybody else is doing it, maybe we should do it too, right? So we'll have a Superdan Cigar of the Year. And that'll be a lot of fun, man. So we're getting down to almost the middle stages. Not quite. We're getting there to the middle. Still getting the similar taste, but a little bit more of toasted almond and a little bit more of the Graham cracker crust. The sweetness is gone in the tip. Still delicious smoke, not really any transition of flavors, just a more intense taste of those items I mentioned. You may be asking yourself a question if you just ran into my videos, which is, who is this Superdan guy? Right? Look, he's done over 250 videos. Actually, it's more, but the earlier videos disappeared. There's a story there, I think, somewhere. We'll get into it another time. But you're going to say, this guy did all these videos. He only has 79 subscribers. 79 subscribers. What's going on, man? What's going on? I'll tell you why. First of all, I've done 0 advertising. And I'm not a beggar. And I don't go on people's channels trying to sift people away to mine. I think it's wrong. I'm not really doing this to gain an army of subscribers. I would love to have more subscribers, obviously, and I would love to have that. But I'm not going to do it that way. Superdan's not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it through word of mouth and people stumbling upon my channel, because that's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it. It's not right. It's just not right to go on people's channels and ask people to go check out your channel. I won't do it. I know that. Now, I watch some other cigar review channels on YouTube. I watch Lee Mac 912. I watch Cigar Obsession. I watch Cigar Vixen. And I'll say it plainly. I watched them. But I will never go on there and ask people to go to my channel and watch me. Come on, guys. Come over here and watch me. It's just not right, and that's not Superdan's way. I've also have not bought subscribers either. And surprise, surprise, some YouTubers buy subscribers. What a shocker, huh? Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. There's pros and cons to that, and I'm not going to slam it totally, because there is some solid reasons to do it. But is it, you know, is it honest? Is it ethical? I don't know. I don't know. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about the numbers, because Superdan's not worried about the numbers. I think the numbers will naturally form a progression upward in the graph of Superdan dealing in a desert. It'll progress in a linear upward progression towards profit. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, okay? And I'm not worried about it. This is an evolving channel. It's constantly evolving. And this is only my second real cigar review. I reviewed cigars for the ash holes for their ASHHOLES guys. I know what you're thinking. Their cigar contest, which I was one of the lucky 200 to get into. $70, you get 13 cigars. But you have no idea what the cigars are. The bands are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And no idea what the cigars are. The price is nothing, just $70. That doesn't really count. This is like our second cigar review. The first one was the H. Upmann 1844 Reserve Maduro Robusto, which I had construction issues at the end. But that's that review. We're doing the Isla del Sol review. Isla del Sol. Delicious coffee infused Nicaraguan binders and fillers cigar, and it's just very tasty. If you look up reviews on this cigar and you look up YouTube reviews on this cigar, you're gonna see a vast majority of positive reviews on this cigar. No doubt about it. You're gonna find a few people that aren't gonna dig it, and that's fine. That's fine. Right? Not everybody's gonna like everything. Okay. Fool most of the people most of the time, but not fool all the people all the time, or I don't know, something like that. I'm totally butchering it. But the point I am saying is that, if you're running for office and you get 85% of the vote and 15% of the people don't vote for you, that's still pretty dang good, right? That's still pretty good. Same thing with Isla del Sol. If Isla del Sol is getting 80 to 90% positive reviews, and one or two people that just don't care for it, whatever, they're probably not coffee drinkers either. That's pretty darn good. It's pretty darn good. So, anyways, I'm proof positive that you don't have to have this with a dessert or coffee or in the morning. I'm smoking this at 3 in the morning, getting off work. Yes, Superdan works late. He works swings. And I'm having it with brandy, and it's just as delicious. So, follow your own course. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Steer your own ship. Plot your own course. That's what I say. Go follow the road less traveled. Dare to think for yourself. Stop listening to social media. Stop listening to the masses, because the masses are sheep. They're idiots. They really are. Groups of people are not smart. That is a fact. Groups of people, I mean, when I say groups of people, I mean large groups of people. Okay, I'm not talking about think tanks. I'm not talking about a one-on-one exchange, obviously, or just a few people. I'm talking about a large group are pretty dumb, and there's been studies on this, of how people tend to. It's a psychological thing, but it's hard today. I understand it's very hard today to form your own opinions and think about things and research and go to the main sources. It's difficult, I know. And you know what? We may never get to that truth. Socrates